And here we go. I have my microphone on this time. It's great to talk to all of you here on this Veterans Day. Greg Sher with you. And we are working our way through November. November 11th, it is. It's such a special day for all of us in this country as we honor our veterans. And I'm going to bring on such a special guest, someone that's become a close friend of mine. Charles is just amazing. Charles Eggleston is his name. And Charles served in 3 tours in Iraq. The last one, he was lucky to survive. He's a Purple Heart recipient. He was U.S. Army Staff Sergeant. He's retired now. Actually, Charles, it's good to see you. You just left the Arlington Cemetery. Tell us what you've been up to this morning.
It's been a busy morning from the actual White House to land at the reef with the President of the United States. Man, it's an incredible day. I woke up this morning as I'm driving into the White House. It's just the perfect temperature. Everything was perfect. It was like, man, it's God bless us for an incredible day. And he set me up for an incredible journey today. I just felt great. It was just great atmosphere.
Yeah, I asked you how many U.S. presidents you've met. You said all of them that are alive and one that passed.
Yes. I've met them all the living presidents, and one Bush Sr. that passed.
Yeah, and you guys had a very close relationship. We're going to talk about that. Take us, I want to obviously hear from your perspective why this is such a special day, and we'll get to that in a moment, but I want people to learn about your journey. So walk us through that, serving.
Well, I'm just, I always call myself a regular Joe, just a regular infantryman, just doing his job. I was a weapons specialist. So I'm the guy you want to have in combat because we get the job done quicker and faster and more precise. And we had the most fun. But like I said, got hit a couple times, and then one dreadful day I got hit the wrong way, and it took me and my whole team down. And that was the beginning of the end and the new beginning of a new life, a new journey. And that journey was a journey of tragedy. 3.5 years in the hospital, going through 56 surgeries, putting me back together. But it taught me the mental capabilities of a human. And I was that test case of that mental capability.
How'd you get through it? I mean, close to 70 surgeries, 3+ years in the hospital. I mean, that you had to have some very trying moments.
I had a bunch of them. I was on 13 narcotics at the time, so I didn't know who I was. And it took some Vietnam and some Korean War veterans to set me to the side one day and say, hey, guy, you're too important. We don't want to lose you too. It's like they could see the writing on the wall. Because me and a friend of mine was contemplating suicide, and we want to do it dignified. So since both of us was on almost a similar subtropic of drugs, we could put ourselves to sleep for one final journey. And it just didn't happen because we partied too late at night. And when we was asleep for probably about 15 minutes, and it was first call. When they knocked on my door, I was unresponding at Walter Reed. They snatched me out of the room and took me straight into the ER and pumped me and did some other things, and I'll never go through that again. That's a promise. And I made a promise to those other veterans that I would never do it again,
Yep. And you come from a long lineage of those who served, and we are so grateful for your service and your father who served in Vietnam, your grandfather who served in World War II.
Yep.
Let's talk about this day, Veterans Day. So, many people watching that haven't served. Just give us a window into the gravity of this day for you and how we should view it.
It's a day to be proud because I can't think of one person, male or female, that isn't ready and hasn't been ready to put their life on the line. I've seen it. I've seen my counterparts, both male and female, die in combat. So that proved to me at the end. It just wasn't for just male only, and I seen more of what I call my sisters in arms do more than all of us did. And they never got the recognition as they should have. And I always speak about that. That's probably one of the reasons I'm speaking to you now from the Women's Memorial at Arlington Cemetery, because I respect them so much for what I saw them do in combat for all of us. And it's a proud day to be a veteran. And I wish the United States would recognize it as a national holiday rather than schools are still going on. And some states decide they don't want to participate. There's no such thing. You can have other holidays. Have a holiday for those who really laid everything on the line that served us all.
Well, you have a voice that the administration listens to. And ever since the late George Bush, the first one, told you that he apologized for Iraq.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, and then also what kind of access you have to potentially make Veterans Day a day where everyone just stops everything they're doing and nobody works.
I like that. And that's a great journey. And that would be a great product to really see come to the table. And I'm going to push it. And it's just not me. It's a bunch of other veterans that's going to push it. But I still remember, the president making his rounds at Walter Reed. Of course, he had already been briefed on my injuries and my decorations and, what happened to me and my team in combat over in Iraq. And he comes in, he has a light talk. And I said a couple of choice words that weren't too polite to him. And it caught him off guard. And he asked, "Why are you saying that?" I said, "Because when you leave, I still go back to that place called Never Neverland, which I use a different name for. I'm being good right now. It was a shit house. Let's put it that way. And that's where we go to die every day. We go back to our billets that was across the street off the grounds of Walter Reed to basically commit suicide and just die in our sleep." And I said, I wake up to a dirty room every day. For some reason, it's always dirty. It's like, I'm going to have someone check that out. And I'm so used to hearing folks say, "Yeah, I'm going to check some out." And they don't. It's lip service. But I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And I turned over and I was like, "I'm in pain anyway. Let me take some more medicine. Give me some more medicine." They gave me some more medicine. I went to sleep. I wake up. I figure something's wrong because the nurse said, "Hey, Mr. Eggleston, the president want to see you." I said, "What they gonna do? Kick me out the military right now?" That's how I felt. And they said, "No, he wants to talk to you one-on-one." So him
We
and
see
his
you and the president right here. You and
That's his
George
father.
Bush Sr. Yeah, the
Senior.
father developed a great relationship. You're saying that the second George Bush was by your
his son.
bedside?
Yep. And we became best of friends after that. And he said, "I'm gonna apologize to you for what happened. That should have never happened. And we're gonna fix it." And believe it or not, we become closer than close. He fixed it. He did what he said. He made me a believer because I was thinking it was always lip service. He actually brought me into the folds of him and the Clinton family brought me into the folds of politics. And I won't let these guys down because I still remember.
Yeah, we're watching some video of you now, several years ago. You can recognize some of these names, Tiger Woods and you sitting there. I mean,
Yep.
Colin Powell,
Good friend.
Barack Obama, President Obama, and you,
Yeah, he's a good friend.
President Biden.
He was by my side too while I was going through the scandal.
Barry Bonds, Scottie Pippen. Your life is an interesting one. I mean, you served 3 tours, 2.5 tours. You were blown pretty much to smithereens. You've got a metal plate in your face. You had some 70 surgeries, and as you said, you contemplated suicide. You were going to do it, and fortunately,
unsuccessful. Yeah. Try to OD because me and my other friend decided we didn't want to shoot ourselves because our families would be pissed, even more pissed.
Yeah, and then you saw the light, and you made it your life's mission to
save
the lives of others and to make an impact politically. And so you were spared. In the odds of you surviving what occurred to you that day, is it 1,000,000 to 1? I mean,
I say so. Yeah, easy, 1,000,000 to 1.
What was the shape of your body in when you flew back to the United States? Describe the condition of your body.
Well, the whole right side of my body was basically smashed in. The whole right side of my face, titanium on the whole left side of my body. My back had to be rebuilt. And I can't even think about it because it's so like unknown to certain parts of my psyche that
Yeah.
could happen to a person, but that person was me, and I experienced it firsthand. And I think sometimes, how did I make it through that journey? And it was a small game called golf that had me concentrate on something else other than what I used to do, as in football, track, and baseball, stuff like that.
Yeah. Golf gave you a purpose
Yep.
again, right? It helped take your mind off of things, and you were able to meet Tiger Woods and so many other players. Did you ever dream that you'd be sharing a golf course with presidents and arguably the greatest golf player of all time?
Never even thought about it. And I grew up on a golf course. And the only thing I used to do is, with a baseball bat, hit the golf balls back to the folks who hit them in my yard.
How's your game these days? What's your handicap like?
It's some went up some, about 11, 12 handicap.
All right. Not bad. Is that the top of your game, or are there a few strokes left in there to gain?
There's some more. I need to get back to like a 5 or 4.
Yeah. I see that Purple Heart that you're wearing. What does it mean?
It means sacrifice. It means tradition. It carries the spirit of all the guys that lost their time. All right. They'll still be here. They just lost their time here. Their spirits still walk with me. And that's why I always wear it for special occasions like Veterans Day, because it's not to show off. I wear it in their honor. It's not even my honor. I wear it for all those guys that can't be here to say, hey, I wish I could wear mine. I'll wear it for you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of Purple Heart recipients, they don't have the chance to ever wear that.
You got it. A good 70%, 70, 80%.
So getting back to politically changing the climate, you were known as someone that blew the whistle on the condition of Walter Reed Hospital and the condition of veterans coming back wounded, and the facilities were horrible. And you spoke up. There were articles written about it. When you go back to that moment in time, what are thoughts that come into your mind?
Who was this guy? I can't even believe what I was saying. I said I must have been on some serious drugs by then, but I was speaking from the heart. I wasn't even speaking from the mind. Everything I was saying was straight from the heart, like I speak today. And this is a testimony. I even spoke in a church about it, and I said a couple of choice words, and the bishop came up behind me and said, "You know something? You're speaking in tongue." We always use certain words, certain times, but it was a purpose. And when I was speaking to veterans of past that had spent time at Walter Reed, they say it was just as nasty when it was there, but they're glad someone finally spoke up. It was the right time for it to happen. I don't believe that. I think the right situation happened. And,
Charles, I see you in pictures with Republican presidents, Democratic presidents. We have a president-elect about to enter office. The first time around, how did you feel like he treated veterans?
He didn't really treat them too well, even though me and him got together and talked about it and played golf together, even up at his New Jersey location at Trump, Bedminster. And I think he was just misinformed. I think. I can't really say. But I hope this time he has more people that's really paying attention to the veterans and active duty. See, I was active duty when all this stuff was going on with the scandal. It hit two systems initially. It hit DOD, which is the Department of Defense, and it hit the VA. I had never stepped one foot in VA, and they kept on saying this happened to him by the VA system. It didn't. And I explained to folks when I was speaking on television, this happened to me active duty. I'd never seen a VA.
What needs to be done still? So, I mean, if you were sitting across the table, if I was President-elect Donald Trump, I'd have more hair than I have. That's for starters. But what would you tell him? What do you hope that he does in the next 4 years? What are the biggest needs?
First of all, get a couple guys like myself and listen to us, get a team around us that they show you the real care rather than PR. I see a lot of red tape that's unnecessary. That's just extra jobs unnecessarily. You can streamline a system and do what we need to do to rehab these veterans and soldiers and airmen and all these other guys, the fighting forces on both sides of the table. But we're known as a country of waste. But when you waste, we lose lives such as service members. And I hate that because we give it all we got. It ain't not one person that raised their hand one time saying I do that don't believe in giving it all they got. And I'm a testament for that. I gave it all I had.
And you still are. What are some particular actions beyond listening to folks like you that you feel like are opportunities that are easily achieved? What are just a couple things?
Different programs at the VA center. And basically, they need to have more outlets for job functioning for your incoming veterans. Because they always say we have a job for a veteran. Why do you make it so hard to really hire that veteran? You got to train that veteran on how to be hired. We just know military. But when it comes to going civilian, we don't know too much about that. And it's even worse for my type that are wounded warriors. They got combat wounded and they may be blind. They still have a purpose in life. We want to be people too. And that's what it's all about. We want to feel like a person. And most of us don't feel like people too. We feel like a piece of crap because we got injured, serving our country and laying it all on the line unnecessarily. You need to hire these great guys and gals. They're the epitome of success and dignified intelligence.
Well, bravery, determination, courage, absolutely, loyalty, all the characteristics you'd want in a kick-ass employee.
You got it.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, as I think back to President Bush, saying to you, the son, hey, sorry that my dad sent you into a war that you shouldn't have been fighting. It's got some similarities to Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
Sort of a war that maybe we should or should not have been involved in. How does that make you feel? Do you spend any headspace thinking about that? Like, man, I should have never been over there in the first place, or your life is so rich with impact now. Are you? Does it even hit the radar, that rhetoric?
When I was in Iraq and I first hit Iraq, I was like, why are we here? Because the place looked like paradise. I'm like, this is California where I'm at in Baghdad, essentially. I mean, they had everything we had over here, except for it was just a lot hotter. I couldn't believe the first day I was in Iraq, I flew in like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm looking at the heat range in Fahrenheit. It was 132. I was like, all right, that must be broken. It was like, no, it's been a cool day today. It's 2 o'clock a.m. in the morning, and it's 131 degrees, and that's cool. Oh, man. But it's just, man, I felt like I went into the Bible, and we should always watch ourselves in a sense, because I walked into the Garden of Eden. I was in Babylon. Man, it's so much that I don't know. Sometimes I just can't even think about it because it boggles even my mind, the place we was at and the things that we had to do. And if they was they was coming here as occupiers, we'd be doing the same to them as they're doing to us. And that's what they were saying to me in English. And they taught me Arabic so I could communicate with them in their dialect. So yeah, I got some of them. And then you have bad people everywhere that mix themselves in.
Yeah.
But
so when you're not golfing with Tiger Woods or rubbing elbows with presidents as you were just a few hours ago at Arlington Cemetery, what do you do? Is there any time to do anything else? I know you've got a family that you love, that you're close to. What are some activities?
I have time to basically champion, because my life, I made a pact with God when I was in my second year in the hospital of 3.5 years. I said, if you help me out of this funk, I'll serve those guys around me and girls around me. There's no way. I just want to be able to be half the man I used to be. And you know something? made me a better person. I call it life after death. I was
Mm.
born again. That's the true essence of being born again. When you can speak from dignified shame that I used to live, trying to be someone else and do like everybody do, to just being yourself. And now you have a purpose. He gave me a purpose. Life gave me that purpose of, hey, I'm gonna send a serious tragedy your way to redefine you as a person. Give
You're
you a
making an
purpose.
impact at an angelic level. You're in rarefied air. I just want to ask you finally, as people watch this and think about Veterans Day, what would you like them to be thinking about?
Honor honor all those who laid it on the line and honor all of those who fell in battle. And it's not even about me. It's about the guys and girls that fell before me. Because if I had never seen uncles, cousins, and dads of mine who were killed in combat, you know, I probably would have never walked in or never wanted to be a part of a tradition, which I'm happy to be a part of, serving my nation because I had a chance to give back rather than take. So I gave back a little bit of me. So now it's trying to just want to be normal and live a life like everybody else because we're only here for a few moments. Remember that. Only here
Yeah.
for a few moments.
Retired U.S. Staff Sergeant Charles Eggleston, Purple Heart recipient, thinking about you on this day in particular. Appreciate the sacrifice that you and so many others have made. God bless you.
And God bless you and your team as well. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share this with you guys.
Of course. And you and I will be in touch as always, okay?
All right. Appreciate you. Thanks again, sir.
All right. That's Charles Eggleston. I'm Greg Sher. So impactful, so sobering, so real. Coming up on our next one-on-one next Monday, we will talk to the great Tony Thompson. He's the founder, CEO of NAMBA, the National Association of Minority Mortgage. Can't read my handwriting. That's amazing. Bankers of America. That was such an impactful conversation with Charles, something I'm going to think about all day long. Enjoy the rest of your Veterans Day and have a great week. We'll see you next time.